Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Words for Life. My name is Steven, and I'll be your host. This is the podcast where we look for motivation and inspiration through quotes, ideas, phrases, and people. Today's quote is going to go like this: The person who has a why to live can bear any how. This quote really ties back to everybody having a purpose in life and making sure that their purpose is what's driving them. When you find something in your life that truly inspires you or drives you to help others or be successful or accomplish great things, you've probably stumbled across your why. Your why makes you feel giddy and happy. It makes you feel full and energized. Your why is really what can propel you into the future that you want. When you have this why in your life, everything flows together. Everything seems to make sense and circle around this why. Your why could be many different things. It's very rare that two people's whys are the same. There are cases where it does occur, and sometimes that's just more of a collective why of supporting the homeless or feeding the hungry or taking care of the sick. Sometimes those are the whys. There are doctors out there that have that same why, which is wonderful. And that's great that we have them to go and do those things that take care of those ill and unhealthy people. So think about what your why is. You might not have one, and it might be something that you're trying to find. And that's a great exercise. I will say this: not everybody finds their why. And sometimes the why can be a lot more subtle than you think. Maybe your why is taking care of your family and making sure that they have healthy, full lives. Maybe your why is making sure that you establish a history of like family wellness into further generations within your family. Maybe it's establishing wealth so that your family can live in wealth as you pass on and as others pass on, so that way they can be sustained in that wealth. Maybe that's your why. But the why is something specific to you and something specific to your life and your purpose. Now we get to the second part of the quote of the person who has a why can bear any how. This really goes back to the idea that if you have your why, it energizes you and you will go to great lengths to try and accomplish whatever that why is. You will find better tools that you had never seen before to help you accomplish that. You might find new classes to make you more successful at accomplishing whatever your why is. You might establish networks that you had not tried to establish before that will help guide you towards embracing and moving towards your why. You might find that you have to possibly suffer more than what you had suffered before to accomplish your why. Maybe you have to go live in a country that doesn't have clean food and water in order to help build up that country and support those in that area. Maybe that's that why. Maybe your why is to get yourself out of a very emotionally distressing situation. But in order to do that, you have to reconcile with yourself that you might have a hand in whatever that situation is, or reconcile that your thoughts and feelings towards the other person might not be as benign or as helpful as you'd once thought. So there might be some emotional turmoil that you have to go through in order to move forward to your why. So as you go through and realize what kind of why you have, recognize that that energy and that power that you experience when you found your why, and that kind of tingly feeling you get when you talk about it and you express it to others, that's a good indicator that you found your why. I know personally, I found my why is to be able to go and coach others to live their best lives. When I talk about it, when I express my desire to go and help as many people as possible, I get tingly, I get excited, I get energy from that why. And I found that I spend more and more hours trying to learn and educate and grow my skills as a coach and do all of these things in order to pursue that why and accomplish that why. Now, I say accomplish, this is going to be a lifelong dream and goal for me. It probably will never be done because I can never help enough people. But the idea is that I will go to great lengths to accomplish that why. I will bear the hows necessary to go and do this. And I'm excited to do that. I don't see it as something that's going to bring me down. Oh, I have to go do this. I'm excited to go do it. And that's really what is behind this quote, is that when you have that why, the hows just fall into place. You will accomplish that as long as you have that why and you feel that sensation of excitement and power when you speak to others, or even when you talk about it to yourself about your why. So, going back to the quote, the person who has a why to live can bear any how. Let your why drive you. If you don't have one, search for it. Find out what your why is. It's not always easy to do. Sometimes it's more subtle than the one I had described, or some of the ones I have described in this episode. But find your why. Find out what drives you, what makes you tingle, what makes you excited. And you will be amazed at what kind of hows you can bear to accomplish that why. If you want to talk more about how to find your why, or how to really drive towards a why that you do have, but you're just not quite sure and you need that little extra sounding board or assistance, please reach out to me on my website. It's listed below in the description. I'm more than happy to set up some time with you to understand if it's something that I can accomplish, or if there's someone that I know who might be better suited to help you get towards your why, so you can get that energy and that power and that tingly feeling to really feel excited for life. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Words for Life. Please join me on the next one. Thank you, and have a great day.